Welcome to Breaking Ice and Building Bridges from Possibilities. I'm Kelly Johnson.
And I'm Byron Jackson. Glad you're here.
Connecting a community through conversation.
Hello, this is Byron Jackson, again with the Building Bridges, Breaking Ice podcast. And today I have with me Kat and Liz. Kat, I have to ask your last name since...
It's Gant, G-A-N-T.
That is a
You
nice
needed to know how
name.
to spell it.
You know how to spell it?
No, in case you needed to know how to spell it.
I do
just
want to know how to
yeah.
spell it. Now,
People often think it's Grant.
It's interesting how people mispronounce your name, isn't it? I was talking to a lady yesterday, and her name was Post, P-O-S-T, and I said, you would think people would never get that name wrong, but she says they mess it up all the time. And so Gant, which is could be a harder name, it could throw people for a loop all over the place.
Yeah, it does often.
Now, is that your married name?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was your maiden name?
Goodwin.
So you kept G. Is that
Mm-hmm.
is that how you dated? Like you, I will only date people with the last name
Yeah, I
G.
just wanted to keep my initials.
Where did you grow up at?
I grew up, we moved around a little bit. I was born in the Midwest, in Missouri and Kansas, and then my family moved to Connecticut, and I grew up there. And then when I graduated from high school, I went to college in the Southeast. I went to a school in South Carolina. And then after that, I'm
What
just
school?
nomadically migrated to California. Furman University.
I know it, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was a great college experience, and I lived out in the Bay Area for about 10 years before I came to Oklahoma. So I've kind of made a wide circle.
I wish I had my shirt. I have what's it, Point? Half Moon Bay.
Okay.
You know where that's at?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's south of San Francisco, Central Coast.
it's very nice
Yeah,
there.
it's beautiful.
Well, welcome. And you're at Oklahoma City Beautiful?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Beautiful. Do you have a theme song?
No, I don't. We don't.
You should.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Okay.
Oklahoma City Beautiful.
I think the last time we talked, you suggested that and sang it for me.
I did. I have a whole
Yes.
new song. Well, on my other side, I have Liz, who's just looking in sheer... Liz knows me well enough that she's like in sheer terror.
No, it's quite the opposite. I've just relinquished all control.
Welcome, Liz Charles.
Thank you.
My favorite.
No offense to Kat.
Right.
Jeez, she's right there.
She is my
You're
favorite.
giving me a chance.
Thank you. This is why she's my favorite. She kind of like keeps me on my...
Yeah.
You could be my favorite too. But the way I do with my children is I have 4 children. And they say, well, who's your favorite, Dad? And I said, it's a competition. I mean, you guys have to prove.
You must earn my love.
Yeah.
That's really solid parenting. Good. You and my parents don't have a lot in common.
And you can pay me also.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Not
So-
above a bribe.
You are. What I didn't mean to say my favorite. What I meant to say, one of my favorite people. And
Thank you.
And so
Feeling is mutual.
thank you. I really enjoy spending time with you. And you're with Kirkpatrick Foundation.
Kirkpatrick Family Fund, not to be
Foundation.
confused with the Kirkpatrick Foundation, because there are 2 of them, just to make it very confusing for everybody.
Do you guys ever play dodgeball against each other?
It's really funny you should ask that. We have not introduced dodgeball. I would be terrified of Liz Eichmann if we did play dodgeball. But we do have like a Kirkpatrick-wide picnic in the summer, and we play volleyball and cornhole and those sorts of things.
Have you went?
Yes, I had my first one like a couple months after I started, and it was intense. They take this stuff very seriously.
Now, do people
so.
bring in ringers that really aren't part of the staff?
No, but family members are also allowed to participate. So there's always like this recruitment email that goes out ahead of the picnic that's like trying to size up, partners and spouses and stuff to see if they're going to be the winning option for the team. So
I used to play basketball, and we would play like against Channel 4 News when Bob Berry was there, Jr., and they would show up at the games, and they would have like all these really tall black athletes.
mm-hmm.
And I go, I have never seen these people on the news ever.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
did they come from?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, welcome. Today, we're building bridges. We just kind of enjoy creating the space to let people be human and talk. And so, Kat, you are not one of my favorite, but you're working your way up the scale.
Okay.
Tell me how you got interested in like making things prettier.
Well, my job at OKC Beautiful is school gardens. And, our mission as an organization is beautification, but it's also kind of orienting people to the environment, as a whole. Like beautifying the environment, but also giving people a chance to experience it, learn how to respect it in a way, bringing in our theme.
Wait.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do I get points for that?
You're moving up.
Okay.
I forgot her name already.
But to your question, I've just always, I didn't grow up like going camping on the weekends, or we were real suburban, family, and my parents didn't garden except for one summer. I think my dad got adventurous and had a garden, and I was afraid to eat the tomatoes because they weren't from the store.
Sure.
It's one of my favorite stories to tell because now my life revolves around growing tomatoes and food.
Trust.
Yes. But then when I kind of got out into the world on my own, I discovered nature and, the great outdoors, and that just drew me in. And then through that, I got interested in kind of environmental quality, like the issues surrounding nature and our environment, and particularly our water. And that led me into our food system. And then I got interested in how do we grow our food, and that sort of, led me to where I am today. And so, bringing it back to OKC Beautiful, it's nice to be work for an organization that marries the two, of love of nature and love of the environment with growing food. So
It is
That's
really.
great.
Oh,
No, I was just going to say that's great. That's wonderful.
it's real. Do you garden?
I do. And I, kind of had a similar experience where it wasn't really a part of my childhood or adolescence, but just have kind of grown to love the ritual of it and the practice of it and how much like care and nurture it takes, and studying and learning and adjusting, especially in trying to garden in
Here.
Oklahoma.
Yes.
Yeah. So I love that.
I did. As I get older, I have started.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, jalapenos was I had more jalapenos than
Yeah.
anything. I mean, it just.
Well, they love the heat,
Yeah,
So it
they
does
don't-
good here in the summer.
So I thought they wouldn't grow because nothing was coming up, and then it got hot.
Mm-hmm.
I made salsa. It was nuts. But I really like the dirt, and I don't think that we integrate our bodies enough. We're very head-oriented society, and so the dirt actually helps me to integrate myself.
Yeah.
All right, so you ready? Let's play with respect.
Okay.
So first of all, finish this sentence because I started it before we began. RESPECT. Next line.
Do you mean find out what it means to me?
Yes.
You want to
yes,
find out
yes,
what it means
That's it. You
to
get
me?
Oh, okay.
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
I
I was
was-
wanting to say, tell me what it means to me or something, but I
Yeah.
couldn't put it all together. So I'm so glad that you did.
Yeah.
On the spot, my lyrics recall is
They
really
were
bad.
they
It
were
is?
off.
Yes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the only one you have.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm glad that game is over. I'm not
It was.
good at it.
It was. I mean, we move up in our. But you're on my favorites. You're going down now. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's not one of my
You have
skills.
time to redeem yourself. It's okay.
And you do right after this question right
Okay.
here. Okay. So the definition of respect, a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something, elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievement. So, what is a condiment that you respect? Your most respected condiment?
Mm.
Like culinary condiment?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Olive oil?
Mm.
Really?
That's a good one.
That is
Put
because
it on everything.
you put it on everything.
I mean, I like to put it on everything.
It's very utilitarian.
Yeah, it's utilitarian.
Multifunctional.
I got the scale. That's pretty good.
Okay.
I would say sriracha.
Oh,
That says a lot about
Yeah.
the differences here.
It
Like I would
never makes something worse, and also can cover a multitude of sins. And it's kind of like a universally renowned and respected condiment. I feel like even if people are like, it's not for me, they're not like, ugh, I hate sriracha. Like I've never heard anyone say that, and I would never trust a person or respect a person that said that.
it's true. I love sriracha. And restaurants now, you could go in a restaurant and go, I would like sriracha.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
it's
everywhere.
just like Louisiana hot sauce. But
Yeah.
olive oil for you.
Yes, I am the opposite. Like when they put sriracha on things and don't tell me, I get mad.
Oh, well, that's
Do
fair.
people do that to you often?
I
Well,
feel
people
like it
are
happens.
putting it in
Yeah.
a lot of
Really?
things. Yeah.
Really?
It's becoming a little obnoxious. I understand that. You would want to consent to
Yes.
sriracha.
Okay,
Yes,
I have not
you-
got. No one has ever done
Informed
this to me.
consent.
Informed consent about sriracha.
I have not got sriracha on my. Like people have not given it to me. I've had to ask for it.
Well, it is disclosed probably in the ingredients. Like if you read a menu carefully, it'll say
It
they,
could be
they
co-
would want to do that because it's pretty potent,
It could be because I'm black.
Just to make an assumption about your taste.
Yeah,
They
no
don't.
sriracha for him.
No, yeah. Just
They
another
should take
great.
one look at me and think the same thing.
Right. If anything, they should keep it away from the white people for sure. Look at what we do with it. We put it in freaking everything.
Yeah, I think that's how the skit once on Naked and Afraid they did on Saturday Night Live, and they had Leslie Jones, who's black, on, and they said, did you bring?" And she goes, "Hot sauce," and I go, "I really relate to that."
Yeah. Louisiana hot sauce is another good one.
That
That's
is
a good one.
that is a good one.
Yeah.
So olive oil, I cook with olive. Now, have you ever tried cooking with grapeseed oil?
No. I mean, I think I've used it in like a recipe or two, and it's really good for high heat.
Yeah, it burns really quickly.
Oh, it burns really quickly, so it's the opposite of what I just said.
No, it's good for high heat because it just.
But it doesn't get smoky and
Yeah.
burnt.
It can
Yeah.
tolerate the heat before.
That's
All
right.
my food.
Because
gets
olive oil,
smoky.
the opposite. You can't do that with
Right.
the olive oil. You have to eat
Right.
it raw or low heat. That's one of my pet peeves is when people burn olive oil.
I mean, it's fair. It's a very fair pet peeve.
Okay, so question on respect is what it says, admiring. So I want you to think of somebody who you really struggle with, like ideologically, and what is a quality about them that you respect?
Someone we struggle with,
Yes.
but still admire the quality.
Yeah. You want me to go first?
Sure.
So, for instance, like autocratic
Mhm.
leaders
Mhm.
are tough for me because I'm much more of a can we all hold hands and get
Mhm.
along sort of person. But I do admire the quality of being able to like take a stand
Mhm.
and just stick with it no matter whether people like it or not. Because I wished I had kind of more of that quality where I could just go, no. And probably not to the degree that they do, but I do admire that quality.
The ability to have boundaries and.
Yeah, and to just say, no, you know,
Mhm. Yeah, I would say I'm not going to name names.
okay.
But there are folks that I have like served under that, have been in leadership positions or, have been peers of mine that really like find their identity in their work solely and like they kind of live for it. And that is something that's really, I don't relate to that. That's a hard thing for me. I'm just like, you know, get over it. Like expand your life, broaden your,
Yeah.
like you don't have to be at the office every, all of the time and like just overachieving at that grind sort of mentality. But some like a commonality that I have witnessed not only is like dedication and grit of just like sticking, like the stick to itiveness that I admire, but also like oftentimes they're patient in a way that I am not, and patient with like the long game and the process and the commitment of a project in a way that I am quick to just want to rush to like I'm an action person, so like let's go, come on, what's next, okay, we gotta do this, and they're like, whoa, slow down, more strategic, more thoughtful, more patient, and that's been good for me to like be able to parse out and compartmentalize the things that I don't appreciate about that leadership style, but then take away those nuggets.
I mean, I feel that too. Like I used to think a person that worked someplace for 30 years and got a watch, I used to
Yeah.
think of as a sap.
Yeah.
The older I've gotten, the more I kind of go, wow, how many battles did that person have to
Totally.
go through
That's it.
to get those 35? I mean,
Yeah.
they hung in there a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought of something, Kat?
This is kind of funny because when we were talking about hot sauce, when you said that, the conversation reminded me of that. Like I admire people who can just like pour sriracha all over their food, but I can't relate to it at all. And I'm sure there's like many more layers to that. If you were to take it apart and look at the personality, because I'm like very cautious, and so like for example, on a day like this, like going out into the cold, I like brace against it. I don't like welcome. Well, I guess today's extreme. Today's an extreme example because it's like the north wind is going at 30 miles per hour, so it's like negative wind chill. But even on like a 40-degree day, like I brace. I have this down coat and I live in Oklahoma. Like I don't need that, But I like to, yeah, be cautious and protect myself, and yeah. So I tend to not. It's just ideologically different than people who are willing to go outside without their coat on a day where it's marginally cold, and then pour the hot sauce all over. And I don't know, this is kind of on a different plane about what you were talking about.
No, but you're not. So you're not going to do the polar plunge, right? Like you're not going to be the person who.
Not
jumps
typically.
in.
No,
Yeah.
I have done that. Like when I had the time and space and ability to get up into the mountains, I actually like love jumping in Arctic lakes, like not
It's
Arctic,
very cathartic.
Alpine. Big difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like you live to be 100 if you do that.
Absolutely.
So there have been, I've actually been thinking when these thoughts come, like, I should put more hot sauce on my food.
Live a little.
Yes.
Have some spice.
Or just like, don't be afraid of those extreme, moments.
What's so
like
funny
that.
is that really just you stating that shows that you do take risk. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you're aware that I could take more risks.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a part of you that
Yeah.
knows that that's where you want to So that
Right. Or there's a sense of resistance to those moments of like discomfort that I
Yeah.
have, which I'm identifying and I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And if I can just like embrace that moment, because my kids are really bad about eating spicy food to the point where if something comes with spicy food, and it's probably because they absorbed it from me through osmosis, I never really outright like said don't eat spicy food. But it's so bad that, if there's any hint of spiciness, they will reject it. So, I'm like, oh, what have I done? So I need to, I think that's been like an impetus for me to question.
who
that.
would have knew, okay, coming here today that you'd go, I'm going to go in and have a talk about sriracha.
You never know.
You never know. But see, I think that's the wonderful thing, Kat, about space. That I just think we fill so much space with so much stuff that we never allow anything organically to happen. And it's like you're saying, with the workers and people just working and having every moment filled. I really have to push people back and go, I really need space.
Yeah.
I can't just fill every second up with stuff.
Yep.
I could, but I don't want to.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Well, how's this been for you?
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really, boy, I just really love the way that you expose your heart, Kat.
Oh, thanks.
It's, as we were talking, I was going, man, I really would like to know her better. I mean, just because you could tell you really think through things, and so all these journeys. And so it's really been fascinating to me.
Wow. Well, it's nice to be appreciated. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Liz, I always love. The word that pops in my head with you all the time is fierce. And you are a fierce human being. And if I was in any sort of battle, I would want you with me.
I love that.
And
I would be by your side. I'm Norwegian, so I have Viking ancestry. So you're right about that.
That's how you will take people's heads completely off.
1000%. I'm in.
So, yeah, I just really, can you tell that about Liz?
I
Kat?
can see that.
Mhm.
Yeah, just in our
We're
short time.
we're a good balance, We're like
We might be on the nodes.
exactly.
Like,
She'll be talking sometime, and you'll see this little spark fly up in her eyes and go, whoa.
Watch out.
Here comes the Norwegian. That's what I should tell your kids.
Yeah.
Call me when the Norwegian
Yeah.
mom comes
Oh, they
out.
know.
They know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's funny with children how you could be like this very calm, rational human, and then like you're screaming like that, and animals. And I mean, you're screaming like a wild person. Stop. My wife would be out in the backyard. Get back here, dogs. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I go, boy, she would never be like that at work.
Well, it's just that there's a line. Like, we just know, like, I'm a very understanding, open, flexible person. But then, like, they know this is the line. And if you cry, it's not pretty. You have
Where
all
it
this
goes
room to
from
play.
calm voice
Yes.
to
Mom voice.
Yeah,
That's
the
right.
scary
Mom
mom voice.
Now, you have that too.
Oh yes.
Well, would you ever come back on again and visit with me? We'll bring some other people on.
Yeah, for
Sure,
sure.
that'd
So
be
we
fun.
have Norwegian. What is your,
German and British.
See, we have British, German,
Mm-hmm.
and Norwegian. Man, we could just get.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll say stuff to make everybody mad, and we can
Perfect.
see how people respond.
I love it. That word of the day could be anger. I like it.
Only Liz would like.
Yes.
That's very just
Yeah.
explains everything.
I'll just
Well,
tell the truth.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you for coming over in the cold, and I
Yeah.
hope you've enjoyed our studio. And
Yeah, this is fun.
It is fun. This is Byron Jackson, and I am out of here.
Breaking Ice, Building Bridges is the Possibilities community podcast platform. Thanks for tuning in.